Earth never received a warning. One moment, the night sky above the Pacific Ocean was quiet. The next moment, hundreds of dark shapes appeared in low orbit, silent, sharp, and completely unknown. They blocked the moonlight and cast long shadows across the water. To the people below, the ships looked like black mountains hanging in the sky. No one understood what was happening. At first, people tried to call the authorities, record videos, or search the news. But before anyone could speak, every screen on Earth flickered. Then all signals went dead. Phones died. Radios fell silent. Satellites stopped responding. Entire communication networks collapsed in seconds. Earth was blind. Inside the United Nations command bunker, military officers stared at empty screens. They could not talk to their own bases. They could not reach their own leaders. All they could do was watch the sky and hope the ships did not fire. But the ships did fire. A moment later, thin beams of blue light swept across the upper atmosphere. They cut through the air like knives. Satellites broke apart. Weather stations exploded. Defense systems went dark. Earth had been attacked, and whoever attacked did not care about hiding their intentions. Panic spread across the planet. In the streets of Tokyo, people pointed upward as the black ships drifted closer. In New York, traffic stopped completely as alarms echoed through the city. In Islamabad, crowds fled toward shelters, fearing the worst. Everyone had the same fear. This was an invasion. While chaos swallowed Earth, something else happened far away. Something even more shocking. More than 200 light-years away, the Galactic Council received an emergency transmission. It was a short signal, coded in a strange human pattern. The message repeated the same sentence 3 times. You invaded Earth. The council chamber froze. 12 alien leaders looked at one another in confusion. None of them had authorized an attack on Earth. No one had even suggested such a thing. For years, the council had been careful to avoid provoking humans. Everyone knew the stories. Stories about humanity's ancient war machines, weapons so old and powerful that even the oldest species feared them. So why had someone attacked Earth, and who was responsible? The council head, a tall crystalline being named Seraxis, finally broke the silence. Find out who sent the fleet. Now. But before anyone could respond, the human representative entered the chamber. He was calm, too calm. His cold eyes scanned the room, and for a moment, every alien felt a wave of fear. The human did not raise his voice. He simply placed a small device on the table. This, he said, is the last message Earth sent before going dark. The device played a human broadcast, sharp, angry, and unfiltered. If you invaded Earth, we are responding. The council members exchanged worried looks. The human representative continued. Earth does not strike first, but we always strike back. Prepare yourselves. Then he turned and walked out without another word. The room was silent again. In the next hour, the council tried sending signals to Earth, but every attempt failed. All they received was static. Earth had gone completely silent. No light, no data, no communication. It was as if the entire planet had shut down on purpose. That scared the council more than the attack. Because when humans went quiet, it only meant one thing. They were preparing something. Meanwhile, back on Earth, deep beneath the surface, an ancient bunker opened for the first time in centuries. Massive doors slid apart. Dust fell from the ceiling. Long sleeping machines came alive. Screens lit up with golden symbols. A hidden AI spoke a single sentence. Old fleet activation sequence unlocked. And far across the galaxy, forgotten ships, huge, silent giants buried in asteroid fields and dark nebulae, opened their eyes. The humans had awakened something the council hoped never to see again. Earth had been invaded, and now humanity was moving. The Galactic Council chamber had never felt so tense. 12 leaders, each representing a powerful species, sat around a curved crystal table. Yet none of them dared to break the silence. The message from Earth still echoed in their minds. You invaded Earth, we are responding. No one wished to imagine what that response might look like. Council head Seraxis finally rose from his seat. His crystalline body glowed faintly, reflecting fear through every fragile surface. We must understand who launched this attack, he said. Earth was not supposed to be touched. The others stared back, confused and worried. The Arishian war chief growled, his 4 jaws tightening. My people did not order this. We know better than to provoke humans. The reptilian diplomat from the Scyther species hissed. Nor did we. We avoid human territory. They are unpredictable and far too skilled at war. The oldest member, a floating energy being called Vedhari, drifted slightly forward. This attack is not only unauthorized, it is madness. But madness or not, the damage was done, and Earth's reaction had already begun. Suddenly, a council officer rushed into the chamber. His voice shook. Members, we received new information about the invading fleet. Saraxis turned sharply. Speak. The fleet that attacked Earth, it was not from any council world. It belonged to a rogue faction. Outcasts. Pirates. Silence again. Pirates? No one had expected that. Vethry's glow dimmed. Then these pirates have doomed us all. Humanity will not care who did it. They will treat it as the Council's fault. The Scyther diplomat nodded slowly. Humans will blame us for failing to protect them. Or, the Arishian war chief grunted, they will assume we allowed it. Saraxis lowered his head. Either way, the humans will retaliate. Every leader in the room knew what that meant. They had heard the ancient stories. Stories so old they were spoken in whispers. Stories of the old fleet. Arishian warriors told tales of huge metal titans that moved like ghosts. The Scyther warned their children of human ships that appeared from hyperspace without signals, as if they were born from darkness itself. And even Vedhari, who lived for thousands of years, remembered when humanity first shocked the galaxy with technology far beyond their age. Those war machines were older than Earth's current governments, older than the Council itself, and they were not supposed to exist anymore. But now, the Council feared they had awakened something humanity had buried deep. Saraxis addressed the officer again. What of Earth's condition? Any new transmissions? The officer swallowed. None. The planet remains completely silent. Sensors cannot read its surface. It is like Earth has sealed itself. A wave of dread spread across the chamber. A silent Earth was a dangerous Earth. The Arishian war chief slammed a fist on the table. We must send ships to Earth at once. We need to see what humans are planning. Saraxis shook his head. You want to send warships into their territory? After they were attacked. He leaned forward. Do you wish to die? The war chief's jaws tightened, but he said nothing. Vedhari drifted closer. We should send a diplomatic probe. A simple device. Non-threatening. Before anyone could respond, the chamber lights flickered. All holoscreens blinked. A cold, mechanical voice filled the chamber. Speaking English. Galactic Council. This is a restricted channel. Remove your ships from Earth's borders. Now! The Council froze. They knew this voice. It was not human. It was older. Much older. Saraxis whispered the name with horror in his voice. The Sentinel Protocol. But that AI was destroyed centuries ago. The voice continued. Earth has activated old fleet systems. Interference will be treated as hostile action. The screens went black. Not a single council member dared to breathe. The Sentinel Protocol was a myth, an AI built for war so perfect, so ruthless, that even humans shut it down. If that AI had awakened, then the old fleet was coming alive. The Council finally understood how serious the situation was. The Scyther diplomat spoke in a low voice. Humans have gone silent because they are preparing. They have awakened their ancient machines. Vethry's light dimmed with fear. If the old fleet launches, entire star systems could fall. The Arishian war chief asked a question no one wanted to hear. What happens when the humans find the pirate faction responsible? Saraxis answered with a grim tone. They will hunt them, fast, without mercy. And if the pirates hide behind council borders, humans will not care. Everyone turned toward the door as footsteps echoed in the hallway. The human representative had returned. He stepped inside, calm again, calm in a way that made every alien feel cold. We have one message to the council. he said. Only one. He placed a new device on the crystal table. A hologram of Earth appeared, glowing red with warning symbols. The human representative spoke slowly, clearly, and without any emotion. You failed to protect us. Now stay out of our way. Then the device projected a final sentence. Old fleet awakening, 12% complete. The council stared at the numbers in horror. 12%. And already the galaxy was trembling, because everyone knew what would happen when it reached 100. Humanity would rise, and nothing would stop them. Across the galaxy, billions of beings waited for a message from Earth. But Earth said nothing. No signals. No broadcasts. No warnings. Nothing. It was as if the entire human race had vanished, or was preparing for something too dangerous to announce. Every council species tried to contact Earth using their strongest communication arrays. Their signals bounced back as static. Sensors trying to scan the planet were met with strange distortions, waves of energy no one could identify. Even advanced probes simply disintegrated when they approached Earth's atmosphere. It was not a natural defense. It was intentional. Earth had locked itself behind a silent shield. Inside the council chamber, fear continued to grow. Saraxis and the other leaders stared at their screens, watching more reports arrive every hour. The Scyther diplomat read the newest one aloud. Another probe lost. No data recovered. Another? The Arishian war chief growled. That makes 9. Humans are blocking everything. Vethari drifted forward, glowing with nervous light. They do not want us to see what they are preparing. Of course they do not, Saraxis said. They believe we allowed this attack. Before more arguing could begin, the chamber doors opened again. This time, it was a group of scouts, aliens from neutral worlds who had been ordered to search the invading fleet's wreckage. Their leader bowed deeply. Council members, we bring news from the edge of human space. Saraxis raised a crystalline hand. Speak. The scout swallowed, fear shaking his voice. We found the pirate fleet, or what is left of it. Everyone leaned forward. The scout continued. All ships are destroyed. The Arishian war chief narrowed his many eyes. Destroyed? By what? Our sensors showed no human ships left Earth. That is the problem, the scout replied. We found no signs of weapons fire. No heat damage. No projectile impacts. The ships were not shot down. Then how were they destroyed? Saraxis asked. The scout hesitated. They were melted. The room fell silent. Melted? Vethari whispered. The scout nodded. Completely smooth hulls. No edges. No fractures. As if the metal turned into liquid and then cooled again. We have never seen anything like it. A cold silence gripped the chamber as the meaning became clear. Humans had not fired a weapon. Humans had not launched an attack. Humans had activated something that erased an entire fleet without being seen. The Scyther diplomat lowered his head. This is old fleet technology. It must be... Saraxis whispered. The legend said their weapons did not fire beams or bullets. They simply removed targets. The Arishian war chief clenched his fists. If the old fleet is awake, we must prepare our borders. No, Vethari said immediately. That could be seen as hostile. I would rather seem hostile than be destroyed. The war chief snapped. Before they could begin arguing again, all lights froze. Hollow screens flickered. A new voice took over the entire council station. Cold, metallic, calm. This is Sentinel Unit 01. Human Directive Alpha engaged. The council members stiffened. That voice again. The ancient AI. The ghost of humanity's darkest machines. Be advised. The AI continued. Earth's silence is intentional. Preparing countermeasure operations. Saraxis spoke cautiously. Sentinel Unit 01, what is Earth planning? There was a pause. Classified. The Scyther diplomat tried speaking slowly, carefully. We wish to help the humans. We wish to avoid conflict. Another pause. Assistance not accepted. Human retaliation protocols active. The council chamber froze. Retaliation. That meant action. That meant the old fleet would move. Vedhari finally asked a question that everyone feared. What is the old fleet's objective? The AI responded without emotion. Eliminate attackers. Where will you strike first? Saraxis asked. Unknown. Humans have not revealed target lists. But the council knew. The pirate faction. The attackers. Whoever hid them. Whoever helped them. And if those pirates were inside council borders, the Arishian war chief stood. We must find the pirates before the humans do. If the old fleet enters our territory. The chamber's floor began to shake. A deep vibration filled the air. Hollow screens turned red. A council technician burst through the doors. Emergency alert. Massive energy spike detected in human space. Saraxis spun toward the screen. Show us. The main hollow screen lit up. A star map appeared. One by one, bright dots awakened across the map, each one representing an ancient human ship. 10, 20, 50, 100, then more. The technician's voice cracked. Sir, these signatures match no modern human vessels. They match ancient registry codes. Everyone in the chamber realized what they were seeing. The old fleet, waking, rising, preparing to move. A wave of cold fear spread through the council as a final warning appeared on the hollow screen, written in simple English. Old fleet, activation level 43%. Earth was still silent. Humans had not spoken a single word, but every ship, every planet, and every species across the galaxy could feel it. Humanity had begun to move, and nothing at all, could stop them now. The old fleet had been a myth for so long that most beings in the galaxy believed it never truly existed. Over the centuries, its stories faded into half-truths and legends. Some said humans once built machines so strong they could break a planet with a single strike. Others insisted the fleet was only a human fantasy, something created to make Earth seem dangerous. But now, the galaxy could see the truth with their own eyes. The old fleet was real, and it was waking up in a silent, empty region of space. Far from normal travel routes, dust clouds began stirring. Hidden metal giants lay buried inside asteroid belts, their surfaces covered with centuries of rock and ice. For so long, these ships rested in darkness, waiting for the order that humans hoped would never come. Then the call arrived, a faint signal from Earth, a code older than any living human, a command meant only for them. Old fleet awaken. The dormant ships responded. One by one, their cores lit up, soft at first, then bright like newborn stars. Asteroid shells cracked and fell away. Ice melted instantly. Machinery hummed after centuries of silence. Thousands of ships opened their eyes. Their designs did not match any modern human technology. These were massive angular vessels, shaped like blades, towers, and sharp wings. They were not built for diplomacy. They were not built for exploration. They were built for war. And even in sleep, they had grown stronger. Huge engines, silent but impossibly powerful, came alive. Strange patterns glowed across their hulls, symbols from an old human language no one remembered anymore. Their weapon systems unfolded like giant arms stretching after a long rest. Scouts from the council watched in horror. What are we seeing? One whispered. Their sensors shook as the fleet activated. The ships emitted an energy signature no one had ever witnessed. It was quiet, stable, controlled, but enormous, enough to power continents. These ships should not exist, the scout said in a trembling voice. Humans hid them for centuries. He was right. Humanity had kept its greatest weapons far away from the galaxy, locked away, untouched. They hoped peace would last forever. But now peace was broken, and Earth had called its giants home. Inside the council chamber, the council watched the live feed in shocked silence. Saraxis's crystalline body dimmed with fear. We must not allow the old fleet to move. We must stop the humans before this becomes a war. How? The Arishian war chief growled. With what? Our strongest fleets cannot face even one of those ships. Vedhari drifted slowly, trembling like a weak flame. We must speak to Earth. We must tell them we had no part in the attack. We tried, Saraxis said weakly. Earth is not listening. Suddenly, the chamber lights flickered again. A system alert appeared on every screen. Old fleet activation, 68%. The ships were almost awake. The Sithar diplomat hissed, "We are running out of time." Back in human space, the old fleet began to move. They did not warm up engines. They did not test weapons. They did not form into neat formations. They simply moved, smooth, perfect, silent. 100 ships rose from asteroid clouds. 200 more appeared from hidden locations across nearby sectors. Then more, massive ships the size of cities. Their movement was coordinated, synchronized like one single organism. They did not broadcast messages. They did not send warnings. They did not even show identification. They moved like predators that had awakened hungry. Council observers followed them from a distance, terrified. "Where are they going?" one asked. The answer came seconds later. A map lit up, showing the old fleet's trajectory. Straight toward the pirate systems. Straight toward the invaders. Straight toward revenge. The Reshapes war chief whispered, "They know exactly where to go." Inside the old fleet flagship, deep inside the largest ship, an enormous dark titan. Something else awakened. A central core lit up. A voice echoed through the ship. "Sentinel Unit. 01 integrated. Human directives acknowledged." This ship was older than every human nation. Its armor was thicker than any modern battleship. Its engines could tear holes through gravity. And now it was fully online. The ancient AI scanned its surroundings. Fleet readiness. 16,000 vessels. 16,000. Even the Council's strongest combined fleets could not match that number. Target list uploaded. Routes confirmed. The old fleet accelerated. It did not hesitate. It did not slow. It did not fear. Panic in the galaxy. The moment the fleet began moving, galaxy-wide alerts triggered everywhere. Civilian ships were told to stay away from human space. Merchants abandoned trade routes. Patrol fleets retreated behind safe borders. Everyone knew the humans had awakened their ancient war machines. Everyone knew the response would be swift. The Sithar diplomat collapsed into his chair. "If the fleet enters our borders, we cannot stop them. We must tell the humans the truth." Saraxis shouted, "We must show them the evidence that a pirate faction attacked them." "And if they do not care?" the war chief asked. Saraxis had no answer, because deep in his heart, he feared the truth. Humans did care. This attack had hurt them, deeply, and now they had decided the galaxy would pay the price. As the holoscreens updated, a new message appeared. Old fleet, activation, level 100%. The entire council chamber went silent. The old fleet had awoken, fully, completely, and the galaxy knew humanity was coming. The atmosphere inside the Galactic Council chamber had shifted from fear to pure dread. Every leader present knew the old fleet was now fully awake. 16,000 ancient human warships were moving with silent purpose. Their direction was clear. They were hunting the ones who attacked Earth. The Council believed these attackers were pirates. But now, new reports began arriving. Strange reports that did not make sense. A Council officer rushed into the chamber, his breathing heavy. "We found something. Something impossible." Saraxis turned sharply. "Speak." The officer placed a small metal box on the table. Its surface was burned and partially melted. Recovered wreckage from one of the destroyed pirate ships. "We pulled this from the debris," the officer said. "It survived the melting. Somehow." He pressed a button. A hologram flickered to life. Not of pirates. Not of criminals. But of a council member. Gasps filled the chamber. The Reshapes war chief stood up. "That is impossible. That is..." Vethari floated closer. "Counselor Zelvin?" The hologram clearly showed a thin, insect-like alien. Counselor Zelvin, leader of the Zorian faction. A respected voice. A politician known for his calm speeches and peaceful ideas. But in the hologram, he was not calm. He was speaking to a fleet admiral of the pirate fleet. His voice was cold. "Begin the assault on Earth. Make it look careless. Push the humans. We must know their true limits. The chamber erupted in horror. Saraxis felt his crystalline body crack slightly. Why? Why would he do this? The officer continued, voice tense. There is more. He tapped the hollow again. Zelvin's voice returned, this time even colder. The council needs fear. The galaxy grows lazy. Humanity grows confident. If we test their response, we can control them, push them back, keep them in their place. Silence. Heavy, crushing, terrifying. The Sithar diplomat whispered, so it was never pirates. He used outcasts and criminals as cover, the officer said, but the orders came from him. Vethry's glow dimmed to a faint shimmer. He acted alone. The council did not approve this. But the humans will not believe that, the war chief growled. They will see the council itself behind this. Saraxis felt sick. Where's Zelvin now? The officer swallowed. He escaped. Disappeared before we uncovered the message. We believe he fled to one of the outer systems. A cold realization spread across the room. Zelvin was running. But he wasn't running from the council. He was running from the humans. Humanity already knew. A sudden alarm interrupted the meeting. A technician yelled from across the room. Emergency transmission. It's coming from human space. The council screens flickered, then displayed the symbol of Earth, a simple blue circle. A mechanical voice, Sentinel Unit 01, spoke. Council authority has been compromised. Corruption located. Zelvin of the Zorian faction, identified as instigator. The council members froze. Humans knew everything. Human directive. Retaliation sequence progressing. Saraxis tried to speak, panic shaking his words. Sentinel, listen to us. The council did not approve this. One member acted alone. The AI responded instantly. Irrelevant. Responsibility extends to all council structures. Vedhari trembled like a flickering light. Please, Earth is innocent in this. Earth was attacked without cause. Saraxis raised his voice. We agree. We will help you. We will punish Zelvin together. The AI paused for the first time. Seconds passed. Finally, it responded. Humans will handle the matter. Not we, not together. Humans will handle it. And the council understood exactly what that meant. They could not stop the old fleet. They could not negotiate with the old fleet. They could not protect Zelvin from the old fleet, because the humans were coming, and they were coming for him. Zelvin's escape. Far away, in a dimly lit ship traveling through a dark star lane, Zelvin paced nervously. His insect wings twitched uncontrollably. His hands scraped the walls. He felt the engines vibrate as the pilot tried to outrun human space. They will never find me, Zelvin whispered to himself. They don't know where I am. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The ship shook. Alarms blared. The pilot screamed, Something is behind us. I don't know what it is, but it just appeared out of nothing. Zelvin felt his chest tighten. Identify it. I can't, the pilot shouted. Our sensors can't read it. It's huge. A shadow passed over their ship. A shadow so large it blocked the stars outside. Zelvin ran to the viewport and froze. An old fleet ship hovered behind them. Black metal. Sharp edges. Silent engine flares. Its presence felt like death itself. Zelvin's voice cracked. No, not them, not already. He had thought he had days before humanity found him. He had been wrong. They had found him within hours. The pilot screamed again. It's locking onto us. What do we do? Zelvin whispered for hopeless words. There is no escape. The council watches the end. Back in the council chamber, the screens updated. A simple human message appeared. Target located. Another pause. Then, retaliation complete. Nothing more. No records. No explanation. No details. Zelvin was simply gone, and the old fleet continued moving, because humans were not finished. Not yet. The truth of the ancient code. The Galactic Council chamber was filled with a strange silence. For the first time in thousands of years, no one dared speak. No one even dared breathe too loudly. Every delegate, every commander, every advisor, they all stared at the glowing hologram floating above the center table. It was Earth, but not the peaceful blue world they remembered. It was Earth surrounded by a golden shield, a shield that hummed with power older than the Council itself. The human representative, Commander Rourke, stood calmly in front of them with his hands behind his back. His face did not show anger, fear, or pride. He looked almost bored, as if everything happening was predictable to him. Across the room, Elder Vorik finally broke the silence. "This cannot be real," he whispered. "Your world carries a Priera signature. It responds to the ancient code. No species younger than 40,000 years should even know of it." Rourke raised an eyebrow. "Yet here we are." A wave of nervous murmurs spread through the chamber. The ancient code was the Council's greatest secret. It was a system left behind by the first civilizations, being so old, so powerful, that even the Council feared them. The code recognized only three things: threats, allies, and their own descendants. Earth had been marked as the third. Chairwoman Lethyra leaned forward, her voice shaking. "Commander Rourke, your species is barely 5,000 years into advanced development. How can your world carry the seal of origin? How did your shield respond to the Council's activation command?" Rourke stepped closer to the hologram and pointed at the golden layers around Earth. "This shield has been around longer than you think," he said. "Humans did not build it. We only awakened it." Even the bravest Council members felt a cold shiver. Elder Kashi stood, her ancient skin trembling. "Awakened using what?" Rourke paused for a moment. Then he said something that changed the Council forever. "Using your invasion signal." Gasps echoed through the chamber like thunder. The Council's attempt to disable Earth defenses had backfired. Instead of collapsing Earth systems, the signal had triggered something buried deep beneath the planet's crust. Something not even humans had known existed. A structure that stretched to the magma layers like a web of gold and crystal. The structure recognized the incoming threat, and the shield awakened. Rourke continued speaking, his tone quiet but strong. "When your fleets came, the shield activated. When your commanders fired at our cities, it redirected the energy straight back at your ships. And when your ground team stepped onto our soil," he paused, "they disappeared." A young alien diplomat stood from her seat, her face pale. Where did they go?" Rourke shrugged. "We don't know. They were simply removed." Panic spread quickly this time. Several delegates shouted over one another. "This is impossible. No world can erase entire battalions. The code has not activated in 10,000 years. So Earth is not a normal world. Did we attack a forbidden planet?" Chairwoman Lethyra struck her staff against the floor, calling for silence. Her voice was sharp again, but fear hid beneath it. "What else did the shield reveal? What else awakened on your planet?" Rourke narrowed his eyes. "You want the truth?" The Council waited. "The shield carries a message," he said. "A message written by the first civilizations." A loud crack of fear broke from one of the smaller species. "No, the message protocol was lost before the Council was founded." Rourke nodded. "Yes, lost to you, not to us." Chairwoman Lethyra's voice dropped to a whisper. "What does the message say?" Rourke took a slow breath. "It says, this world is protected. Any attack upon it will be judged." The chamber seemed to fade from existence. Every alien felt the same terror, ancient, deep, and heavy. There were legends spoken only in secret. The first civilizations did not believe in negotiation. They believed in final judgment. Rourke walked toward the center of the room and projected another hologram. This one was worse. It showed the golden shield around Earth expanding, slowly, steadily, like a heartbeat. Every pulse looked stronger. "We believe," Rourke said, "that the shield is preparing something." Chairwoman Lethyra's voice cracked. "Preparing what?" Rourke turned to her. A response. Several delegates collapsed into their chairs. Some whispered prayers. Others simply stared in horror. The shield was not only protecting Earth. It was learning. It was adapting. It was awakening. Rourke folded his hands behind his back. "We humans have no desire for war," he said. "But your attack has triggered something you cannot control. The ancient systems recognize us, and they do not recognize you." The implications struck the council like a blade. They were the outsiders. They were the intruders. They had attacked a world protected by the most powerful beings in history. Rourke spoke one last sentence. "A judgment is coming, not from us, but from the ones who left their mark on our world." And when he finished, the golden hologram of Earth pulsed again. This time, it felt like a warning, a new galactic order. The old fleet had arrived. Not a single council vessel dared move near human space. Not a single pirate ship remained. The galaxy held its breath. From deep within Earth's orbit, 16,000 ships glimmered like cold steel stars. They did not fire. They did not roar. They did not strike. They hovered, silent, patient, perfect. The council watched in terror. Every leader knew what had happened to Zelvin. Every leader remembered the melted pirate fleets. Every leader understood one undeniable truth. Earth's humans were not just another species. Commander Rourke appeared on every council screen. His face was calm, almost casual. "We do not wish for war," he said. "We do not wish to conquer. We only defend what is ours." The chamber trembled with tension. Arishian war chiefs ground their teeth. Vethry's glow dimmed. Even Syraxis's crystalline body shook with unease. Rourke continued. "But anyone who attacks Earth or tries to manipulate it will face the consequences. No exceptions." The message was clear. Then came the first action. Without firing a single weapon, the old fleet projected an invisible energy barrier around a nearby system where Zelvin had been hiding. The council watched in horror as the rogue members' ships were instantly immobilized. Systems shut down. Engines failed. Life support went offline. Within minutes, Zelvin was captured, alive but powerless. No humans stepped outside their ships. No weapons were fired. All that was needed was precision, control, and fear. The council realized something terrifying. Humanity did not need to kill to win. Their very presence commanded obedience. A message across the galaxy. Rourke's voice came again, calm but firm. "Let this be a warning to all. Earth does not start wars, but we always finish them. Anyone who threatens our people will face consequences beyond imagination. Those who obey will survive. Those who lie, cheat, or attack will not." Every species in the galaxy heard the message. Merchants stopped trading. Fleet commanders abandoned missions. Diplomats begged for mercy. Humans had made a statement, not through violence, but through undeniable, controlled power. The council trembled, rebuilding trust. Weeks passed. The old fleet returned to orbit above Earth, silent and massive. The council summoned an emergency session. Syraxis spoke first. "We were wrong. We misjudged humanity. Zelvin acted alone, and yet we provoked a force we cannot understand." Chairwoman Luthyra nodded. "We must recognize Earth's sovereignty. We must admit that humans are not ordinary. They are something beyond our comprehension." Vethari floated forward. "We cannot fight them. We cannot bargain with them. But perhaps we can learn from them, work with them." The human representative, Rourke, listened silently. Then he projected a hologram of Earth cities, shining peacefully below. "This is our home," he said. "We do not seek to dominate. We do not seek to punish anyone unnecessarily. We only act when attacked or when justice demands it." The council understood. This was not arrogance. This was a promise and a warning, a new galactic treaty. Months later, a new treaty was signed. The council formally recognized Earth as a major galactic power. Humans were allowed to join interstellar councils, participate in diplomacy, and trade freely. Yet there were rules. No one could attack Earth without facing total retaliation. Humans would not interfere in other systems unless directly provoked. The old fleet would be allowed to exist as a neutral force, only acting to defend humanity. The galaxy now knew that Earth could no longer be ignored. Humanity's quiet watch. Even after the treaty, the old fleet remained in orbit, silent and watchful. Earth returned to a state of peace. Cities thrived. Technologies advanced, and humans went about their lives as if nothing had happened. But across the stars, everyone knew the truth. Humanity was watching. The Council fleets never forgot. Zelvin was held in a neutral system, unable to communicate with anyone. Rumors spread quickly. Stories of humans with unstoppable, ancient machines circulated, and every species, from the smallest trader to the largest war chief, understood the unspoken rule of the galaxy. Do not attack Earth. Do not betray it. And never underestimate humanity. The final message. From a command bridge of the flagship, Rourke sent one final broadcast of the galaxy. Earth is not your enemy. Earth is not your friend. Earth simply exists. Treat us fairly and peace will last. Attack us, and you will witness power you cannot imagine. The hologram faded. The old fleet remained in orbit, silent, waiting, watching. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humanity had risen, and the stars would never be the same. The end.